Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video I'm gonna try to give kind of like a day in the life up here at the island. I'm not feeling too well, so most of the heavy lifting is either going to be postponed or a bit slowed down. So today I'm just going to kind of show what chores I have besides my own projects at the island. We're going to be building a garden at our family cabin for my mom, and then also doing some other odd jobs. But also I want to show you guys how we do garbage, how we dispose of our garbage by taking it to the dump in town, and then also where we get our groceries. We usually head into town at least, once every week or two. Right now it's been 2 weeks since our last run, so we need a few things like eggs and bread and milk and stuff like that. So while I take in the garbage, I'm also going to be doing that, and then I'll head back, and like I said, we'll start on that garden. And then I also want to start working on a mallet. I don't know if I'll get around to it this video, but a wooden mallet would be really nice, especially for my wood carving tools, but then just as a handy pounding tool, because I don't have one at the moment. So I could go to the store and buy one, but I prefer to make one. I just feel a lot better about myself. So yeah, that's the plan. I also want to kind of explain where I want to go with this channel, like what you guys can expect in the upcoming months and years. So yeah, it's going to be kind of an informational video. I'm going to try and answer a lot of your questions, and then also try and get some work done, even though I'm not feeling too well. So yeah, first thing first, gotta take all this garbage behind me into town. Alright guys, so made it to the dump. It's about a 30 to 40 minute drive from the marina at our lake, but we kind of have to schedule our grocery runs and stuff around whenever the dump is open, because it's usually only open about 2 to 3 days a week, depending on summer or winter hours. And yeah, today it's open, so that's why I'm here. But for privacy reasons, I'm not going to show much of the signs, but there's tons of like no bear watching signs and stuff, because there's a lot of bears in the area, and I can see right now that there's about 3 or 4 black bears. So while I'm offloading, maybe you guys can get a look at some of those. Yeah, gonna offload and then head farther down the road into town and get some groceries and stuff. I also have to pick up some stuff from the post office, which usually takes a while to get there, but a lot of the packages are there, mostly camera equipment, so it's pretty exciting for that as well. Alrighty, time to pick up the packages. Kind of feels like Christmas. Been waiting for these camera parts for quite a while. So yeah, I'll go scoop them up. Goody goody. It's always the hottest days, sunniest days that you end up having to go into town and leaving the island. It's just the way it works. But right now it's a little too hot. Alright, so the general store in this little town, the population is like 500, but is where we get eggs and stuff usually. I mean, eggs we usually get from the marina. They actually have their own chickens, but they've kind of become popular recently. So I try and get my eggs from there whenever I can, but I supplement with the ones up here. And then that's also where we get milk and other things like that. But for the bread, there's actually a really nice bakery in this town, so probably get a nice fresh loaf instead of just the white bread that is in the general store. Although I love the summers, especially up here, and I really enjoy having like all the windows down and going for drives in the heat. Man, it is packed here for once. I am actually really looking forward to fall time. We had a few rainy days where the weather was a little chillier, and just made me really excited. Fall is my favorite season, especially for camping, because there's no bugs or anything like that that you have to worry about. So, and then just the colder weather in general is easier for working outside and stuff, but still a long ways off, so enjoy the rest of summer. Lettuce and eggs. Alright, so sadly the bakery is actually out of their loaves of bread. The town's pretty busy today, I guess because it's such a nice day and it's also Friday, so everyone's coming up for the weekend, but that stinks. But whatever, got everything else done, so now it's time to head home and start construction on Mom's new garden. Alrighty, so since the fire ban's off and we've had a lot of rain, as you can see on the top of the lid, I'm gonna get this thing going again, and it's probably gonna stay going for many days basically, because still got that big wood pile that's behind the cabin to get through, and then we just cut down that tree for the garden at our family cabin, so all of those branches, any of the ones too thin to be turned into some sort of firewood or kindling, will be burnt as well. So yeah, gonna start this thing, get it burning, throw some logs in, and then I'll probably head over to the tree, and then we'll take some measurements, and then cut the logs to the size we need and start the building process on the new garden. I also wanted to explain a bit more and answer some of you guys' questions about where this cabin is and how that all works. So yeah, it will be more of a day in the life, just some of the typical projects I have to do to maintain this place at this cabin and just around the island in general. And then try to get out fishing depending on what time. Finish up with all these chores. And maybe cook something delicious again. But yeah, first things first, just got to get the chores done. Alright, so here you can see the chinking that we used to build this garden. I'm going to try and do something similar with the new one, but first I'm going to take some measurements and kind of see just, I'm planning on building the next one bigger than this one, but I just want to measure this one to see roughly what kind of size we're going for. Before I can actually start the fun part about this, which will be getting the notches cut and peeling the log, I first got to clear some of these branches out of the way. For now, I'm just going to pile them somewhere in the woods, and then eventually I'll cut them up a little bit more and throw them in the burn barrel. But for now I need to get these out of the way so I have a clear working space, and then I'll mark the logs where they need to be cut them up, get the workhorses from my cabin over there, and then start the peeling process. Alright, so the fire's burnt down to enough coals to start cooking, and my mom set out this board for me to make some cheese and chicken enchiladas. Not enchiladas, what are they called? Quesadillas? Yeah, we get started cooking on those, have a quick lunch, and then continue working on the garden. Set this one on top and kind of give it a squish, and then once the cheese melts enough, we'll flip it. You have to wait for the cheese to melt a bit or else it'll fall apart. Alright, I'm gonna attempt to flip this. I think I put a lot of chicken on so the cheese didn't have any binding to the top, but no. Balanced. Alright, so this is number one. Probably gonna make a couple of these, but yeah. It's a really hot day for the weather we've been having. Like on my camping trip and stuff, it's been a lot of rain recently, so of course this weather would have been perfect when I was camping, but when you're working it kind of makes you want to take a swim. But other than that, it's just nice to have a beauty blue sky day again. Kind of been missing out on that recently. So yeah, I'm just gonna get some of these quesadillas down, great protein meal, and then get right back to work. Wow, that was a big swallow. There's nothing like these simple meals. There's like one or two ingredients to fill your stomach when you're hungry and you don't feel like cooking, and they taste amazing. So mosquitoes are starting to come out. This is the first 6-foot piece. We'll start drawing this up right away. That's one of the logs. Now we just got 3 more to go. It's probably a better way to pick that up. that's the last log stripped. So now is going to be the task of moving them over to where the garden's going to be built, and then we'll kind of decide how to layer them once I get them over there. But the two smaller ones I can carry easily. These two pieces are quite a bit heavier, so I'll probably just have to roll these all the way over there. Alrighty. Gonna take a second and then align these as they need to be. Oh boy. Alright, so that's good enough for today. Got the basic frame of the garden done, and I just put some of these pieces of bark that came off the logs down, and then we also got a big bucket of sawdust that we'll pour on, and then just pine needles and any stuff like that. So then over the next year or so, this can kind of decompose into soil, and then we'll also add some soil. We have a maple bush that has really nice soil, so we'll get some from there and put it in here as well. But yeah, turned out pretty nice. It's just a rough fitting, but it works. And then with these gaps here, we'll do something similar to the older one, and just kind of fit a smaller log to go under there a bit later on. But sun's going down and it's pretty hot, so I might go for a swim. Then see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, it's the next morning. I just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up of what you can expect to see on this channel in the future. And I want to make it clear that this channel isn't just about island life, even though I love it up here. At some point I'm going to be heading out again, back on my travels. For those of you who don't know, my family and I have been traveling for the past 7 years with our YouTube channel called The Epic Family Road Trip. So if you don't know anything about that, go check it out, and I'll definitely explain a little bit more about our story later on in some other video. But yeah, so this channel is going to be a couple different things. It'll be island life part of the year, whenever I'm up here after a big trip or something, or like now, just for a little bit of respite. I'll be working on the cabins up here and maintaining the place, but then also camping, especially this fall. I hope to do a lot of camping again, like that last video. But then also I'm going to be on the road. I'm planning on doing some solo trips, which will be the first time for me, just me in one of the Jeeps going out camping and exploring, which will be neat. But then also, of course, I'm going to be traveling with my family quite a bit as well, going over places. I hope to next week go out camping with the Jeep, just kind of like a solo test run, I guess, so stay tuned for that. And then like I said, hopefully going further and further abroad, obviously within my financial limitations. But yeah, and while I'm doing that, I hope I can give kind of a unique perspective to my videos, just kind of share with you what's always interested me about traveling. Like I said, now that we've been doing it for 7 years, I'd like to share with you guys what I like most about it, which is usually the history and cultures of places, and talking with locals and trying to understand how different people live. So yeah, there's lots to look forward to. It's quite amazing how much this channel has grown in such a short time. Thank you guys for all your support, and especially to those who have signed up for the Patreon channel and are helping me continue making these videos, because I really do enjoy it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying them as well. But yep, there's a little heads up for the future. I hope you've been enjoying the island episodes, and I hope you look forward to getting out on the road as much as I do as well. So yeah, gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. Hopefully I'll feel a bit better by the time I start filming the next episode, and yeah, see you guys next week.